You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the September 9th meeting for the Michiana Shores Town Council. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
All right, I will call, I believe it's time already, yep, 7 o'clock. So I will call the meeting to order now. Everybody please stand for the pledge and comrade. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Joan, please do the roll call.
President Dumbriz.
Here.
Vice President Samantha Arnold.
Here.
Ralph Box.
Present.
Sam Paxton.
Here.
And it looks like Rich Young is going to be absent. I'm here. Gary Bendix, he's not here.
I'm here.
And Police Chief Mark Swistek.
Present.
He's here. And Park Board President Gene Paxton.
Here.
Okay, and then we have Matt Bowen, BZA President, he's absent. Commissioner Code Enforcement Officer Brian Alexander.
Here.
Floodplain Administrator Andrew Bertocci, he's absent. Plan Commission President Isaac Zeckel, absent. Samantha Arnold, we know you're here, and Bob Sokowski, the Road Commissioner.
He said he would probably be absent. He didn't know if he could get back. I'm not sure where he's at, but he wasn't sure. Okay. All right. I sent out another copy of the town council meeting agenda this afternoon, having made a couple of other, changes to it. And I would like you all to make sure you review that and see if there is anything you'd like to add or change or adjust.
One change, the booster meeting will be on the 22nd.
Okay, all right.
Our board is planning that booster for the 22nd.
22nd. Okay, very good. All right, thank you. So we can change that. Anything else, Ralph? Did you have something?
We do have a planned budget meeting on the 30th. Is that?
Oh, that's right. I should have added that.
Have
Okay,
a what?
you're right. Budget meeting.
There's the.
Yes, I think you mentioned someone took add that.
6:30 meeting.
Okay.
There's one at 6:30, yeah.
September 30th, correct?
Yeah, and then there's one October 14th.
And 14th is going to be our town meeting.
September 30th is the
Is the
public
public
hearing.
hearing, okay. Public hearing, okay, so let's add that to the agenda.
Oh, yeah. For some reason I thought it was like the 20-something, but I had it on the calendar.
Yeah.
I think we started out with an earlier date, but with all the things that
Yeah,
was
then it was-
going on,
yeah, then you changed it.
that was
Yeah.
changed.
Okay, so we that, and then I'm going to add, under new business, let's add E, and I'm going to add in there the community crossings grant. Because of the phone call I got from Sean at Google. Okay, so just CCG, program under new business. All right,
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with those modifications.
okay.
Second that motion?
Okay, Ralph Box moved, Samantha Arnold seconded to approve the meeting agenda with the additions, changes that we made here at the meeting. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, let's move on to the minutes. This will take us a couple of minutes because I don't know if I didn't get anything online, so.
No, you didn't, because I
Yeah.
had problems scanning.
Okay. All right.
Since they started AI, I don't know what they're doing to the computers. There's probably errors in that because I had it all typed and it got lost in the computer and I had to retype it.
So is, under the clerk treasurer area, has March 11 vouchers, does that mean those were signed, approved and signed?
No, it's because I couldn't understand what the was saying in the recording, so I could,
Because I have March 11 were not approved or signed and need to be approved and signed this month.
okay, then I'll write that in.
And then you have something for July 8 vouchers, but no indication of what they were.
I don't have, I couldn't understand that.
So I have nothing for July 8 vouchers, but I have July 11th or July 31st that were not approved but not signed.
That's possibly it.
May 13th were not approved or signed, and you have those to be held, so that makes sense. And then July 1st to July 8th.
Needed some summary signed. And you didn't sign it. And I think I've got it here for you to sign if you want to do that.
And then
That is the
So
one
they're approved
for
but not signed.
July.
July 1st to July 8th.
8th. I'm not sure I have it here. Well, let me check.
Right now, I'm just checking the notes, we don't have to go through and sign them or anything yet.
Right, we're still on the minutes at this point, right?
Yeah. And
No,
then
I don't have it. I'll have to get it for next month because I didn't have time to go through this like I wanted to.
Yeah, I'm going to propose that we don't even go through these minutes any further. And Joan said she had to type them up quick the second time. And there's a lot of things that she'll probably correct when she goes back through it.
Great,
If I can
okay.
One thing you
get the
did,
voices separated so I know what's being said.
Mhm.
Well, then, what I
There
would
was
do
three
is,
people talking at one time, all three of you were talking at one time and you were real low and I can't understand what each one of,
okay, well, that's easily solved. And going forward, let's make sure that we each give the other people their time to speak and everybody speak loudly. And I know you guys you can be very quiet, Ralph, too, so not like me.
so can Ralph.
one correction that I can point out, you referred to Attorney Adamski as Attorney Gunning.
Where did I do that?
Yeah, there's a
Or the,
number of things
under public comments.
we could do here.
Under public comment?
So,
We shouldn't waste our time going.
all right, then let's, because we need
Well,
time to
instead
read
of
through. Okay. so-
Wasting time, can I make a suggestion? You tell me what you want changed and I'll change it.
Well, I mean, there's a ton of things in here.
Okay, so what we'll do is we are going to table these minutes with wherever you, because I was not at this meeting, I cannot make those comments, but you can. So please make any kind of notices to just share it with us and then we'll have it ready for next meeting, okay, Johnson?
That's a good idea.
All right, so I'm tabling these minutes until the next meeting.
And then you'll get to me as to what you want changed.
Can I make a suggestion or request? Is that we go a full month before the next meeting. Could you turn around the meeting minutes, like the week after the meeting happens? That way,
We can try
you would
it.
have time to provide your
If you
feedback.
can guarantee me I'm not gonna be bombarded with other stuff, which I am right now at the first of the month because they're having a BZA meeting and I have to make sure all the notifications are sent out and that takes time.
Well, let's make an attempt for the clerk treasurer, let's put it in meeting notes as well, to share a draft of meeting minutes. I'm typing as I'm speaking, 1 week after town council meeting for review by town council members ahead of the next meeting.
And that I have them at least a week ahead of time so that I can get them changed to what you want.
Right, so that's actually work, if you have a week after, that gives,
Yeah.
that's a week after, that gives us, even if we take a week to give our feedback, you still should have 2 weeks to make the updates.
You'll be lucky I get it back in a week.
Okay,
I think that's-
okay, all right. Sounds good, thank you. Let's move, okay, so we're tabling these minutes right now, this is table. Let us move on then to the reports. That would be the clerk treasurer's, invoices, claims, vouchers. So Joan, please take it away.
I have sent some copies, or set some copies out for you because I had trouble with my scanner. It decided to have a mind of its own and quit scanning. The voucher, you have a voucher on your front of you that I put out for August the 13th to the 23rd, which are the additional vouchers for August, in the amount of $2,998.86. And since you don't want me to read it, I won't read it. Hopefully you have done that.
So, question, as I read this, because I've seen this for the first time, last month we determined that time-wise, to make it clear what vouchers and things we're going to get, that going forward, we'll get a detailed account of payable vouchers ahead of the meeting, but we'll not need to read aloud the details during the meeting.
That's right.
Fine.
That's why I'm not
We
reading.
didn't get it this time, but that's the goal, it's a goal going forward. And then it was supposed to, I want to make sure I understand the timing, so I'm not asking for things that are wrong. You're supposed to run a report from the beginning of the month to the town council meeting, and then from the town council meeting to the end of the month. So,
That's correct.
so we should have something from July 9th through, no, I'm sorry, August 13th through September 8th, correct?
No, August 13th to August 31st is balance of the vouchers, so it's in August. Then you have one that I gave you tonight that is going to be from that September 1st to September 9th.
Okay, gotcha.
We write checks twice a month,
Got it,
and
that
that's
makes
how they're
sense.
coded.
My only question is, and maybe it's just a typo, the August says August 13th to 23rd instead of 31st. Is it to the 31st or is it only to the 23rd?
It's to the 31st.
Okay, great.
Thanks, Samantha.
So, August 13th to the 31st. September 1st.
I have a question on the September 9th vouchers for our liability insurance at $14,828 for the year upcoming.
That's correct.
Has that premium gone up since last year?
I didn't even check it. But that's also for the new truck. It did go up because of the new truck.
Wouldn't the liability coverage under the truck policy, is this like a umbrella policy?
This
Liability
covers
policy?
everything.
Pardon?
It covers everything. If you want it broken down, stop in my office and I'll give you a copy of the
Well, I
breakdown.
think the council would be interested to see that.
Yeah,
Well-
that's a good idea.
Then stop into the office.
No, we can get it next meeting. If you can make a note to bring a copy for everyone.
So we want the current policy last year's and this year's, so we can compare.
Yeah, I'd like to.
So I'll say that clearly, last year's liability policy compared to this year's and the policy details.
So, good, thank you. Okay, so right now, let's see, which ones, we're gonna look at the August vouchers first.
The August 13th to the
Yes, to the
31st,
31st, please.
even though it shows to the 23rd on the
We made a
individual
change.
printout. I can't change it.
Okay,
Once those headings go in, they won't let me change it.
What's the, on the Adobe posted violation notices, the 3144, I'm just
What is the what?
Adobe postage violation notices for,
Where are you reading that?
on the August 13th to 23rd vouchers. More than halfway down, it's Chase Car Services, and the description is Adobe postage violation notices.
Under
That's
software
right.
costs.
I mean, I know it's a software, but what's the,
The postage violation notices were sent out. And we don't send them out by Adobe. We take them to the post office, and they have to be certified.
so this is just the thing to send certified mail?
Whatever anybody sends certified that has anything to do with violations and money has to be certified.
Oh, that's the violation.
Okay.
Got it. Now I understand.
So why would that fall under software costs?
Because we process all the stuff for it through, we make copies of the letters, we make, when we do the postage, we run the postage through our software.
Okay. Okay.
The cost of the postage, not the postage itself, but the cost of it. Welcome.
You're welcome.
We're working on the register for the vouchers from August 13th to the 31st. It's in front of you. And meeting minutes are rescheduled till next month for their changes. They're gonna get their changes to me so I can change it for them.
Well, please pass this one over to Wendy. Thank you. Okay, are there any other questions or comments on this set of vouchers? No?
No, I don't have any.
Okay, if there are not, then I need a motion to approve the vouchers of August 13th to August 31st.
I'll make that motion.
All right, Ralph Fox
My second.
and Sam Paxton seconds. All in favor of approving the vouchers for August 13th to the 31st, indicate by saying aye. Aye, okay.
Are you,
5 ayes.
are you voting on it, Rich, or not?
Yeah.
You did, you said yes.
I
Who,
trust
Sam,
my
did you second
fellow-
these? Sam, did you second these?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, then the next set of vouchers we have here are the vouchers for September 9th. Oops, I'm sorry. Yes.
From
This-
September
this is just
1st
for-
to
you don't have to
September
start.
9th in the amount of $37,622.65.
Okay, just a minute. Okay. All right, are there any comments or questions from the council?
No.
Okay, if not, then I'll ask for a motion to approve these vouchers.
I make a motion to approve the vouchers.
All right, Sam Paxton moves, I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, Ralph Fox seconds. All in favor of approving the vouchers for September 9th, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's 4 ayes. 5 ayes, I'm sorry, 5 ayes. All right, this is gonna be the second set. Please. Okay, all right, let us, now, what is going to take place with regards to our considering the vouchers that were outstanding from last time? Is anything going to be done today, are all of those still up in the air right
They're
now?
still up in the air, but before we get to those, are there payroll taxes for this month, for August?
Yeah, I don't have those. I didn't do anything for payroll.
Okay.
There's nothing for payroll.
Okay.
But I have the May additional vouchers that was not signed
So.
or approved.
Make sure we don't
And I gave you all of those last month, so I did not print any of them
Okay.
or resend them.
May additional.
And that was in the amount of
August.
$1,311.64.
So, wait, are you talking about May 31st or May 13th?
The May additional vouchers, which would be the May 31st.
May 31st we approved, we just have not signed it. May 13th.
They're the same
not
thing.
approved or signed.
They're the same thing.
May 13th and May 31st are the same ones?
No, the May 31st,
It says approved, not signed. May 13th was not approved and obviously not signed.
no, that May 13th wasn't. But
Okay,
I've got the May additionals is listed on here
Okay.
twice.
Oh, May additional, yeah, so is May
Additionals listed here on twice, and they're the same thing.
additional and May 31st, you're saying the same thing?
It's the same thing.
Thank you.
all right.
And the amount of that was $1,311.64.
Okay, I'll let that same as additional. So you have it here for us to approve and just to review,
I've got it here tonight.
to sign, okay?
Okay, just to be clear, that is, no, the ones for 31st are here to be signed,
Yes,
correct? Okay, but the May 13th
have not
have not been approved or signed. Okay, are we going to address those today or not?
I don't know. Let me check and see if I did.
So if you pass us the May additional, AKA the May 31st, we can sign it.
Those are right here.
Okay, here we go.
But you need the May 13th,
This-
from the May 1st to May 13th. I have, and I've made copies for you, just in case your computer doesn't have it on it anymore. So, the May 1st to May 13th is $941.59. That's not right. It should be $18,836.
For May 13th.
Yeah, but I don't know why print is this.
We'll have to do charges in there too.
I don't have the right vouchers to go with that one, so let's let that one go.
Okay, we're gonna let that one go again, so that's the May
May
13th
13th, still not approved.
that are not approved. Okay, so these are going to be waiting, right?
Yeah, we'll carry them.
They're going to October.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready for a couple more that I have on the list. So you should have April 1st to April 8th.
I don't have any of those. I have July 11th to July 31st vouchers in the amount of $184,126.86.
So that was one that we, July 11th through July 31st, we approved.
Approved but not
last
signed.
time. Not signed.
Okay, so I'm
So
going
we
to circulate that.
Please, go ahead.
Okay, sign. Then we need,
March 11th is not approved, you're saying?
yeah, the March
In a
11th,
row, that says.
April 1st and March 11th.
Oh, April 1st, that's right, well, March 11th, okay.
March 11th, the whole month of March is the one that needs to be separated, and that's a long process with the
Okay, so those
computer.
are not ready.
Nope,
Oh, okay, all right.
and I do not have the payroll taxes for May or April.
Or April either.
Okay.
What do you mean, yeah, the May and April, I don't have
All right,
those.
okay, so the April 1st, April 8th is one of those that you don't have yet, right? Okay. Or is that, we don't, no, you don't have, yeah, you said you don't have. those
April
that you-
1st to the 8th,
Uh-huh. Still waiting to approve and sign.
Sign.
You said you don't have them with you.
nope, I don't have them.
Okay, all right, okay,
And I don't have the March 11th.
okay, thank you.
Hopefully I can.
Is there Is there a reason why it's taking so long? We're going on 5 months now for trying to reconcile the
Well,
May.
it isn't 5 months
March.
because I presented them to you.
Later.
You didn't like them, so I had to redo them. And when I redone them, you didn't like them, so I did it again. And hopefully that by next month, this can all be up to date.
Samantha, so we are good on where
Yeah, so we've got, July, March, the April 1st will carry over. The May 31st and May additional are the same thing. We are signing those today. July 11th through 13th, we just signed today. So
You should be signing the July.
May 13th, we're going to carry over. March 11th is not ready. And payroll taxes for May and April are not ready, and payroll taxes for July and August are not ready.
The list keeps getting longer.
All right,
Now
and
it is, we just shortened
you
it
have
a bit.
three that are being signed now, correct? That we passed through?
July 11th through July 31st, May additional,
Okay,
and,
May 31st.
May 31st is
May
May
31st,
additional.
July 11th, and,
No, May 31st, May additional are the same.
okay,
And then, so we only signed.
You're
and
signing
July
that one
11th,
tonight.
July 11th, and then September 1st through the 9th. and
Right. And the August additionals tonight we signed.
What's that, Joan?
The August additionals.
Yeah, the 13th to the 31st, which is marked the 23rd.
okay. All right, so let's get all those signed and back, and then we can move on. Okay,
Rich has them.
all right, okay. I'm not sure what Rich is picking.
He's
Oh, something else?
signing.
Okay, all right. Then let's move on to the resolutions and ordinances. We have a resolution for the codification of the town ordinances, 2025-03. Samantha?
Yes, please.
Are we
Oh, I'm sorry.
doing department reports?
That'll be next.
That will happen later, resolutions come before that.
Okay.
Last month, we talked through the codification project. I didn't have the contract for you to sign, well, here, so we have it tonight, but we approved it.
Okay,
The idea to have a resolution this evening and get that approved, so we have that entered into record. So I think for the first time, we have to read the whole thing, right? Okay. Resolution 2025-03, a resolution of the Town Council of Michiana Shores, Indiana, authorizing and committing to a municipal code codification project. Whereas the Town of Michiana Shores, Indiana recognizes the importance of a clear, modern, and up-to-date municipal code of ordinances for public access, proper legal administration, and effective enforcement. And whereas the current collection of ordinances for the Town of Michiana Shores is organized in a manner that may not be easily accessible or searchable by residents, staff, and other interested parties. And whereas a comprehensive codification project will bring together all general and permanent ordinances into a single, logical, and well-organized code, eliminating obsolete, duplicated, or superseded regulations. And whereas the town council has determined that engaging a professional codification company with specialized legal and editorial expertise is the most efficient and effective way to complete this project. And whereas the company, American Legal Publishing, has submitted a proposal to the town council to perform codification services, including the compilation, organization, and publication of the municipality's code of ordinances. And whereas it is the intent of the town council to formalize a contractual agreement with American Legal Publishing to begin the codification process in accordance with all applicable Indiana state laws, including Indiana Code 36-1-5, which governs the codification of ordinances. Now therefore be it resolved of the Town Council of the Town of Michiana Shores, Indiana as follows. Section 1, authorization of the codification project. The Town Council hereby authorizes the commencement of a project to codify, revise, and publish the municipal code of ordinances for the Town of Michiana Shores, Indiana. Section 2, engagement with codification services. The Town Council hereby approves the proposal from American Legal Publishing and authorizes the Town Council President to enter into a contract for codification services on behalf of the Town of Michiana Shores, Indiana. Section 3, scope of services. The codification services shall include, but not be limited to, the following: compiling all general and permanent ordinances, reviewing ordinances for conflicts, inconsistencies, and state law compliance, organizing and restating ordinances into a clear, logical, and modern code structure, producing a publication of the code, including any required tables and indices, providing for the electronic accessibility and ongoing digital maintenance of the code. Section 4, funding. The Town Council authorizes the use of funds from the appropriate municipal budget accounts to pay for the codification services, subject to the term of contract with American Legal Publishing as follows. Paying American Legal Publishing as a base price the sum of $4,800 for its services. 50% of that is due within 30 days after American Legal Publishing submits the draft manuscript and invoice. The remaining balance due within 30 days after delivery of the printed code book and invoiced by American Legal Publishing. And then separately pay American Legal Publishing a $495 annual hosting fee due after the new code is delivered in its final form for first-year hosting of the web digital version of the code. Section 5, publication of the adopted code. Upon completion of the codification project, the Town Council shall, by ordinance, formally adopt and publish the new municipal code in accordance with Indiana law to ensure its full legal effect. Section 6 is the effective date. This resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage. Passed, and then we have to pass it after when we pass and adopt. I know it was kind of fast, but questions, comments?
I think you're very clear. Do we have any date when we want to begin or get this information together with us?
As soon as we sign the contract, we need to start sending them ordinances. I have the ones that are on the website, we can email to them right away. The rest I need to get from Joan and Brenda and have you guys scan them. If you can scan them into files, we can email them over to them. Which should be easier than printing them out, that they'll take them in any format. We already discussed the formats that they want. They can take pretty much anything as long as it's not, parchment scrolls.
I do have a question. How did you say we were going to pay it? Out of what accounts?
I did not say out of what accounts, the municipal accounts to be determined. We budgeted, we goals to do half this year and half next year.
There's no budget for it.
We have it
Put it in the
for this
budget.
year, so we'll have to talk about that. And then have it in the budget.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea to talk about it.
Well, it's already in the budget for this year.
No, it's not.
We put it in there.
We
Requested it.
Where did you put it?
Maybe probably put in 5,000 or 5,500
Yeah.
For publishing?
for this
For
first
the
year.
codification
So
project
we're talking about spending less than half of that.
this year.
Yes.
Yeah, we put in the full budget for this year.
Okay, now, here's a question about, we have several ordinances that are we're thinking of amending, and I know there are several things that we wanted to do with regards to, for instance, fines and so forth. How will they address these kind of things, changes that go forward, and while they're working on this? I don't know how much time is going to be used by the company, any idea like that?
I can double check their timing, but I would imagine we're going to get everything to them and we'll have to agree upon a cutoff date.
Okay.
At which time it would be final, and then any changes after that would go through their change process. They have a cost if you want to update it.
Okay.
And usually you save those to do it about once a year. I mean, Long Beach might do theirs more often because they have a bigger code, use it twice a year. Yeah. Once a year, once every 2 years, you have to work with them, and they have it's like a page cost where you make the updates. So we'll probably have to set a line in the sand at which they have and say you've got everything until our next update.
All right, thank you. Any other questions here? From anyone? No? Okay, any comments from you, Brad, on this kind of thing? No?
No, other than in between, what most towns will do, if they do adopt a new ordinance or they amend something, they'll still post it on your website.
Yeah,
So
just like we do now, we
Okay.
post it as a
Okay.
standalone ordinance until it's caught up.
Okay, all right. Okay,
Do we want to,
thank you.
oh,
I'll make
Right,
a motion
well
to approve town
Okay,
resolution
okay.
2025-03.
All right, Ralph Fox made a motion. I need a second on
I'll
that.
second it.
Okay, Sam Jackson seconds. Ralph Fox has made a motion to approve resolution 2025-03 as presented to us this evening. Sam Jackson has seconded this motion. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Okay, so we have 5 ayes. Awesome, the resolution has passed. Awesome, thank you so much, Samantha. All right, do you need that? You have 2 copies or do you need an
I
extra?
don't need any further copies.
Okay,
You can sign them and give them to John,
okay, we'll do. I'll just keep those here until I do that.
and I'll have Michiana with the meetings.
Okay, very good. Okay. So, we will now move into departmental reports. Police Chief Mark Swistek, please.
Good evening, everyone. In the month of August, the police department responded to 450 calls for service when compared to 395 in the previous year, for an increase of 55 calls for service. The majority of those I attribute to traffic enforcement. During the month of August, 23 incident reports were documented. A total of 15 individuals were arrested. Nothing major to pass along here in the town of Michiana Shores. Our deputies will continue their normal patrol activities, traffic enforcement. President Dumbriz and I had spoke about your golf cart ordinance. As you're speaking about amending some of your ordinances, I would recommend that possibly you look at amending the golf cart ordinance. We have talked about the police department's assistance next year, as obviously we're closing out the summer season for 2025. Then next year, maybe we step up the enforcement on golf carts in your community. But I've sent you an example tonight of the ordinance that we use in the town of Long Beach. We've been issuing citations for violating that particular ordinance this summer in our community. It's been very effective. Probably the most common we find is someone that's under the age of 16 operating a golf cart. Our ordinance specifically states it has to be a licensed driver to operate a golf cart. And then the number of passengers can only be the number of passengers that fits the number of seats on the golf cart as well.
Nice.
And then obviously a slow-moving vehicle sign placard on the back, unless it has operating taillights, headlights, turn signals, and all the other safety measures on it. We charge $100 for a 2-year permit. It's done every other year, renewing on the odd years. I would highly recommend to save your clerk's office some work, that
Thank you.
rather than doing an annual one, do it, every other year, thus saving a lot of paperwork inside the clerk's office.
Great.
How has the community response been to increased vigilance with golf cart?
It's been good. We started out with a lot of warnings and stopping a 14-year-old at a golf cart, calling the parents and inconvenience them to drive out and come pick up the golf cart, take the teenager home, and the word's been getting out, and I've seen a decrease probably in the number of young drivers. Probably the biggest offenders we see are coming out of Graham Beach, Michigan, coming into the Indiana side, coming through your community, Newman Beach, and then into Long Beach. We've had a couple this summer that they literally abandoned the golf cart, took off running from us, and just left in the street. So, and then parents can't come get it then, we tow it, and then after towing it, they've got to pick it up at a tow yard, and it's much more expensive when they have to pick it up at one of the towing agencies. So, but yes, we have stepped it up. We wouldn't mind helping in the community here as well. I really would ask that you look at your ordinance, look at your fines. We register every other year about 300 plus golf carts. So we're doing quite a few, and we really have been cracking down on the permits. And we ask that they're visible, on the front of the golf cart. We change colors every other year in that as well, so our officers can spot them when approaching the golf cart. So, and I'm happy to help with any questions.
Okay, and I do have one question, because I know we had someone here who said they were driving a golf cart, they were driving a slow-moving vehicle, and it was registered with the state of Indiana.
So the way we've been addressing that, even if it is registered with the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, if it is used for the recreational use of going onto a golf course, we're making them have our permit. Regardless if they have an Indiana plate on the back, our stance has been,
Okay.
if they're going golfing with it, it's used for the purpose of golf, that we require our permit on that.
Okay.
So if you're saying it's not used for the golf course, then
Yeah, we're pretty sure that's what it's being used for, yeah. A lot of them, trust me. And then the other thing is that people want to go out and get them registered with Bureau of Motor Vehicles, but what you're not going to find is when the new wheel tax comes into play, and then what you pay to have it registered with BMV is much more expensive than paying $50 a year, $100 every 2 years for a permit. You're going
Okay.
to spend more with state fees and local tax and
Okay.
so.
All right, okay. Thank you very much, yeah. Okay, great. Okay. Any report for the fire chief? Mick, do you have something?
I don't, but one big date is the fall pancake breakfast that will be Columbus Day weekend, Sunday from 7 to noon. I think it might be October 12th, I'm not sure.
Okay.
it's on the 12th and it's
Yeah, it
on
would
the
be October
website.
the 12th.
Okay.
Okay. Great. All right, thank you very much. Yeah, and I forwarded Chief Bendix's report to everybody, right? Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, Mick. Building Commissioner, Code Enforcement, Brian Alexander.
Okay. I have the report here.
Thank you.
Since the last town council meeting,
Just a minute, Brian, wait, start speaking only after you pass them all out, because you also have a soft voice, so we want to make sure everybody can hear you, okay?
very good.
All right, thank you.
Since the last town council meeting, there's been 11 building permits issued for new roofs, a new shed, window replacement, hot tub, siding repairs, window repairs, installing 2 parking spaces, roof and gutter replacement, and skylight removal and infill, and install doors and windows and roofing replacement. Those are basically pretty standard. In terms of code activities, for 3818 Hiawatha, the owner, Ping Han, was reported as listed on as a resident on Airbnb for a short-term rental. This owner has proven that he is a full-time resident, thus he can list his house for short-term rental without a permit. Okay, for 424 Groveland, Dave Hickman, there's been continued wood brought to his property, primarily across the street property. After saying the action would stop, a new note was placed on his door stating he must stop the wood delivery and storage or cutting activities at his site and clean up remaining pieces or be subject to a fine. For 3630 Birchwood Trail, Deb Chubb, there are inoperable garage doors left in the open position. A note was left on her door stating that she must repair the doors at her earliest convenience or further action will be taken. For 3850 Brookside, they did apply for a building permit but have not provided cost of repairs, and so a note was left stating that they must submit the amount of repair cost, even if only for materials, and if other work besides the listed on the permit is done, a new permit must be applied for. 404 El Portal, no mowing work has been done and mowing will be completed and charged to the owner. 406 El Portal, some mowing and cleanup has been done, but more needs to be completed and a follow-up letter will be sent.
Okay,
So those were the activities.
Hey, Brian.
all right, thank you.
Brian, question on 3850 Brookside. Would it be good to place a stop work order on it? How does that process work?
No, this is too soon to do that. If they, you know, well, you know what? I think they warrant actually a visit probably from you again. They were working at the house today because when I returned home, I heard the banging and the cutting. So they are working there. So if this is something you have requested, have you given them, issued an actual permit yet or not?
No.
Oh, then, okay, then you
I
can,
put the note on.
I would say you need to go over there, and if they don't respond, like within, you know, a day to you, I would think at that point you do.
Stop them.
Yeah, stop the work then.
Email or phone call and tell them that they have to come up with a price for the materials. They're doing the labor themselves, but it's still costing money to put in carpeting, put in new drywall, fix the chimney, whatever.
So when they filled out the application for the permit, they didn't fill it out completely, is that what you're saying?
Well, they filled it out, but they didn't put the cost of the repairs, and so I can't calculate how much they would be for this based on cost.
So the permit's never been issued.
So the permit's not an issue.
No, so technically, yeah, you could actually stop them then,
And they should-
you know, if they're working.
Stop it.
So I did hear them this afternoon, but I didn't know whether or not they had given, you know, between the time that we spoke the last and today, so,
Okay.
all right?
I will be on top of that.
Thanks.
They will submit something. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for catching that part. Okay, thank you, Brian. Let's see, our next is going to be Park Board, Jean Texton.
Hi, the park board is currently working on a new sign for South 37 and Kincaid Park with regard to parking. Over the summer, there was abuse of both areas. At Stop 37, many cars were backed in and stayed well over the 15-minute loading time. At Kincaid, problems arose by families parking and walking to Stop 37, and contractors / residents using it as extra or overnight parking. Another idea is to give 2 of these fabulous car stickers to each resident identifying their cars. Just a thought. And I'd love your input on doing something like this. A playground contractor will be viewing Kincaid Park on the mid-morning of September 24th to give us ideas on new equipment, site prep, and layout. We hope to add new equipment to Kincaid in 2026. This is our big project last year. This year it was the tennis courts, pickleball courts. We're really trying to get the money in spring for new equipment. 4 new trees will be planted in Reed's Park tomorrow, thanks to the boosters. Please mark your calendars for September 20th. Volunteers, town volunteers, along with fire department volunteers, will do a fall cleanup in front of the firehouse. The dead crabapple trees will be removed, the sidewalk edge, the pine trees will be trimmed, and the sign out there, the white sign that has mold on it, will be cleaned. The boosters are planning a community get-together fundraiser on October 18th in the form of a chili cook-off right here. And many thanks to Kylie Solkowski for heading this up. The next meeting of the park board is September 29th in Kincaid Park, and the next meeting for the boosters is September 22nd here.
Okay, thank you. All right,
These are all on the website, these events.
yes, awesome, thank you. Shall we look for this cricket or whatever's in here?
No, there were 2 or 3 of them, and I was.
Walking in?
I think.
I'm hearing someone down here now.
Right.
Okay, you see it, yeah?
I think we're at the fire department.
There it is, there's one right here.
I don't,
Oh, no, that might be
That
something
one
else.
looks like it's-
That might be something else, that one's dead. That
It's not
doesn't-
making
that looks like
any
something
sense.
else. Okay, all right, so we'll bear with the crickets in the room. All right, nothing from Road Commissioner Bob Solkowski, he said he had nothing to add to report. Advisory Plan Commission, Isaac is not here, but another Plan Commission member maybe? Give us any kind of word?
We heard from a family that wanted to tear down a home on Sunset and rebuild.
35.
They clearly understood that they were going to have to go to the BZA for at least one issue. So we didn't rule on the proposed new home. They'll have to come back to us if and when they get BZA approved.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Floodplain Administrator, did Andrew send anything new from him? No, okay. BZA, I don't have any,
There was no.
nothing, there was no meeting now, right? Wait, oh no, there was a
The
meeting this
big
month.
meeting this
It'll still be
25th,
the
and I
23rd.
have one hearing for
Right,
a
okay.
short-term rental.
Okay, all right, thank you. White Ditch Drainage Board, although I think our attorney may be able to say something because he was
Yeah.
present at the meeting. I was not able to go this morning. We were not on the agenda, but I think that there's a question about the ditch as it goes into Michigan, correct?
Right, there was minimal talk, so they're still, just so you know, and so the town knows, I think still targeting November action on the ditch. The surveyor gave a report that he had heard back from Michigan, from the different municipalities across the border, and the report he gave was that they treat the White Ditch as a creek, which is not under their maintenance provisions, so they don't touch it, basically.
They don't have to what?
They
touch
don't
it.
maintain it,
They consider it a creek. Okay,
so.
So if it's a creek, it's just not, but it's still a watershed, right?
Well, it's Michigan rules then.
but it's
Right.
Michigan, yeah. There's nothing to do
Right,
with
so the way it was kind of left with the board was if this town had any communication or any lines of communication with people across the border, if you wanted to reach out, but at this point, you know, they got the information back, not the answer they were looking for, but they got an answer back, so.
Okay, yeah. So we've spoken in the past, just informally, and they keep saying that they don't have money to fix that. They know it's going to be a lot of money, and they don't have that in their budget, so it's not a part of their budget, so, you know, now it's an explanation, I guess, so.
So their next meeting will be October, well, the same meeting as yours, October 14th, I believe. And then they moved their November meeting to November 4th, because November 11th is Veterans Day.
Okay, so that's
So
for the
then-
drainage board.
Drainage board, right, so then the project will likely be starting after that November 4th.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, thanks, Fred. Website, Samantha?
Let's see, for August, we had, traffic was, the way we host our website, we use a service that hosts it and does all the security and everything else, which is great. So there are some bots that come in that are trying to, they hit all websites and they try to find vulnerabilities and take them down. So you'll see that you get traffic from them, but they stop them, and this is why I don't do the security for the website, I have someone else do that. So when I remove all that snazzy little bot traffic we had, we're about the same as of last year. We do what people come in and you can see across the website throughout the year what people are looking for. We want the website to serve information. People are coming around holidays, or looking at the recycling page to check recycling schedules. They look for Stop 37, we don't have a lot there, they're checking the beach there. We actually have links to beach reports for both Michigan and Indiana, because Stop 37 gets touched by both. And people are going and looking at that. They do E. coli testing, so people actually go look at that, that kind of stuff. The events, the calendar is the top one, and as we know, as we have worked on in the town on invasive species in our town to get rid of them. We've had a project with the park board and boosters. We've created pages on the site to explain what these invasive species are, and they both rank really high. What people come to, and the Oriental Village bittersweet, which is a vine, is now the big one. So that's the excitement of the website.
Okie dokie. So, thank you very much. That was a good report. We got a lot of info.
I know, more people than you.
So, no, it's good, very good. So, thank you. Any questions for website?
How do you actually know that it's a bot?
You can tell, it's a good question. Number one, when you see 100 times amount of traffic in one day than any other day, if it's called direct traffic, which means they came exactly to your site, a lot of stuff comes referral from
They
people.
do a search for
They didn't do a search for it. It comes direct in, and when you get a bot, we also look at how long they're on the site. And you want people to stay on your site a little longer because they're reading it. So this traffic comes in, it's gone in like a millisecond, which often takes all your metrics. But those three things tell you that it's a bot.
Interesting. Okay, thank you. Emergency report from the last meeting. There were, again, there was documentation and stuff that had to be changed because of the changes that are coming from the federal government. So a lot of discussion was taking place with regards to that, especially with regards to phrasing of the various projects that are taking place to make sure that, any kind of monies that are coming in are still going to be appropriated. The best, news from them is that there was someone there who spoke about the, the grant program with regards to the coastal grant program. So those are going to be opened up as of, I believe, October 10th. So if we have anything that we want to work on with regards to the town, the parks, the beaches, and stuff like that, their grant program is going to be accepting applications as of October. So that was the biggest news that came out of the website.
Yeah.
Okay?
Pretty cool grants, actually.
Yeah, they are. But yeah, I mean, it's a work to get it, to apply for it and whatever, but it, it could be good for us.
work with
That's
you.
it. Pardon?
They work with you.
Well, yeah, but I mean, still, we have to get someone committed to, working on it. So, thank you.
We had contacts from the last one.
Unfinished business, status of the cleanup at 402 El Portal.
On
Sam,
September 28th, coming up, there's a court hearing with the residents.
which date, September 28th?
September 29th. I was-
29th.
Monday the 29th.
September 29th, at court, we attended an earlier session this spring, early summer, with the residents, and it was determined that the end of September was going to be the kind of the drop dead date. And so I think we can all agree that there's been progress made, pretty significant progress. I think there's still some degree needs further attention, some of the items. I had the opportunity, I had actually run into the resident here at the town hall. She was entering into a meeting, and we had a conversation, and she, at the court hearing earlier, they refused to allow the town or anyone from the town to go on the property to review it with her and to give her guidance on what the expectations were to clear this up once and for all. So at that occurrence, maybe sometime in late July, she agreed. So we agreed to try to schedule time through August. That we failed to connect, but I reached out after Labor Day. We set a time for September 4th, which I attended at 1 p.m. And each of you have before you a packet, which I sent out earlier.
Yes.
I did get some feedback from Samantha. I'm one person on the council of 5, and I'm not going to make the call myself. I want feedback from everyone on what your thoughts are. I put my notes down from actually being there physically. I will only say that I think the thought that they've done a lot. It's much improved. So when you drive by, when you have to, look at it, it's much less offensive than it was. However, I still think for the people that live in close proximity, I don't think it's right from their perspective. I don't think and our ordinance does state that one of the tests is, does it degrade the value of your neighbor's properties? And I would say that to some degree, the condition of their property still does. I think it won't take much for them to cure it, but I'd like your feedback. I don't know if we go through it tonight, or if you can promise, because one thing, the time frame to allow them time to get this corrected is getting shorter every day. So we owe it to them to go back. It's been coming up on a week. So I would like to get the response back ASAP so that we can move this one step further to conclusion.
Okay.
And hopefully before the hearing on the 29th, we can tell the court that the issue has been resolved.
Okay. Brad, do we need to do this in like a public thing? Could we just, exchange ideas? I know this is...
Right. I think you can just exchange ideas directly to Sam. In fact, I'd be a little uncomfortable talking in a public meeting about pending litigation.
Yeah.
I would just simply point out that yes, the hearing is set. It is set as a bench trial on the 29th. I would certainly hope that even if they're not completed, that there's an agreement and a time frame for completion. I think if we can take that to the court on the 29th, that'll be sufficient.
Okay.
Not that we want to come to that agreement on
Right.
the weekend before, obviously.
Okay, so can we arrange and agree amongst ourselves that, for instance, maybe by Sunday evening, we have responded to Sam, you know, with any kind of suggestions, or do you want to do
I want to
it?
wait till Sunday.
Sam, you have my feedback about it.
Okay.
So when, today, tomorrow, when do you want it? Later on?
Not to, I mean,
No, but I mean, let's set a date.
I think you'd like to probably get back to them no later than the end of this week, right?
yeah.
Okay.
It's
that would
Tuesday,
be
so.
ideal.
All right, so then, you know, by tomorrow, to make sure, all
Is that
right?
okay with you, Rich?
So with the end of day Wednesday.
End of day Wednesday, to make some
Okay.
suggestions. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Sam. Okay.
And just as a follow-up on that, though, Sam is not available on the 29th, so that is set for event sharing, even if
I'll
we have
double check on that.
on the,
I'm thinking, I may have confused it with the 30th from the 30th on.
it's that Monday, so if he's not available, I just need to make sure somebody
Okay,
from the town.
I should probably, I'm gonna check the calendar and I can tell you right away.
Again, it's
September 30th should be fine for me if I needed to do it.
29th.
Or 29th, I can do it. Okay, just that I would need to know in advance, okay? All right, thank you. Okay. 29th, here we go. All right, new business. Amendment to the noise ordinance. This is, you know, something we have, you know, that was brought up as a result of work that was taking place over the Labor Day weekend. And I think, Sam, you're the one who worked on it too, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this again is something for us to, you know, review and discuss, and this was sent out by Sam a few days ago, so everybody should have had a little bit of time to take a look.
Yep, and I
at
did
the
get
noise
some
ordinance,
feedback.
and some of us made some comments, so go ahead, Sam.
I did get some feedback from the draft language that I had initially proposed. So what you're looking at right now is a revision that incorporates some of that, clarifies some of it. This is, I think it's important for our community to have something that enables people that live in the town to enjoy their home the way that they expect to be, to live and not to have disruptions. As we continue to see an influx of visitors, both through the STRs that we have and through just people coming to visit family or friends, Michiana Shores has hit the radar. It is becoming, I always look at Long Beach as being kind of more of a very party atmosphere. You know, there's a lot of people that have been going there for years and years. Michiana, in my opinion, I've been here since 2004, was always kind of a, you know, quiet, undiscovered little town. And I think, unfortunately, to some degree, that has changed, and it's certainly changing some of the things we have to deal with. The number of golf carts is noticeable. Living on Michiana Drive, you know, it is like a path right up from down one hill to the other, up the other hill and across down to the lake. It's quite popular, and there's often loud music blaring as well. So the items that I think, we do have the noise ordinance, and that was one that Ralph drafted, and I was one of the first ones that when I came on to the council, worked with Ralph on. And it's very clear, the quiet hours between 7 and 8, Monday through Saturday, for commercial entities is from 7 p.m. to 8 a.m. Monday through Saturday, and 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. I believe, yeah, okay, so the actual quiet hours for the weekends are, or during the week, are 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. and for weekends, 11 p.m. to 8 a.m. And I'll be full disclosure, I have dealt with a habitual noise offender for about 10 years. And I've had to call the police several times. And it's gotten to a point where, for me personally, for us personally, that we're seeking help. You know, we want to live like we always expect to live and have to. And I'm not the only one. I know there's been other noise ordinances, violations in town. And the problem, some of the problem is people don't know to phone in to the police and have a violate. So I know that people living next to short-term rentals have to deal with that quite frequently. And so this revision would be for the property, not necessarily the owner of a short-term rental. So if the property has several noise violations over a specified period of time, whatever we come up with, I feel like that should all be count against the actual owner of the property, not the people coming and going. So I wrote in revisions to Section E under quiet hours, any person or commercial entity causing any discernible sound, including, this is the inserted language, including but not limited to construction yard or other work activities, or sounds generated from general sources, including but not limited to animals, gatherings, parties, outdoor fires, music, sports, activities, swimming pools, or any other source originating from either outside the residence or from within the residence, beyond the zoning lot during the hours as I discussed before. So I don't know, that's my thoughts, the draft of it. The basis for, again, for wanting something where we can get a little bit more specific on that. And then, like I said, I've had to involve the Long Beach Police to come out, and they've been very good about going to the neighbor to seek relief for us, and it's worked temporarily. And then the next big party weekend, then it gets the same situation. Frequently. I'm not saying it's every weekend. I won't go into any personal information. So under F, I inserted F, any person or commercial entity that commits a quiet hours violation as reported to and confirmed and documented by the police shall be issued a quiet hours violation citation by the police. Each citation shall be subject to a fine of, I put in $100 per occurrence. We are obviously going to have to coordinate with Brad. Can we do this legally, and does that fit into the police department's model? And then finally, under G, any person or commercial entity who commits 2 or more violations within a 2-year period that are reported to the police are confirmed, documented, and cited by the police shall be subject to fines levied by the town of up to $2,500 per occurrence. Again, this is the most important thing here, because if an owner of a property, whether it be a short-term rental or actual resident, weekend resident, full-time resident, what have you, gets that warning that the next time they're going to be subject to a fine, I think it gives the meat that the ordinance is to actually challenge and modify behavior.
A lot that, I agree that, it makes a lot more of an impact on someone if they will be in one way or another, hit by something. So in this case, it would be a fine. However, if we do any kind of fines, of course, besides just checking with the police, we have to do public hearings on something like this if we are going to institute fines. We can't just state that we are going to do a fine. Every time we deal with money, we bring it up to the public. Now, granted, we would just do a public hearing like we've done in the past, to discuss the topic.
I'm still not clear on that. Is that for, like, if a short-term rental has two
Or
violations,
anytime.
we have to bring in the owner to have a public
No, you
hearing?
need to add a fine to
To add a fine.
Oh, yeah.
To add a fine, we have to do a public hearing. We don't, the
Yes,
owner,
okay.
that would be the whatever business, however they're handling it, if they're
Okay.
renters or
Okay.
the companies that administer the rentals or whatever, we have to make sure that we do this the right way, because otherwise our ordinance will not stand up unless we've,
Okay.
passed this the correct way. I do have a question with regards to, we're talking about consequences and things that take place at night. A couple of weeks, over Labor Day weekend, there was the work that was taking place at the unpermitted home, which wasn't far from me, and extra across the ditch, but, and the music came on so loud, it was like, wow. This is like being at a concert somewhere where it was really loud. Well, that's okay, I'm listening to it, I didn't have hearing aids in, so it wasn't killing me. But I did get phone calls from neighbors, one across the street and one from down at the other end of the block, who were, so in other words, they were, so many, I don't know how many hundreds of feet away, and they were both complaining, like, can anybody say anything to those people about that noise, blah, 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 blah. Well, anyway, I think another neighbor nearby who happened to know the family actually made a comment and said, it's a little noisy over there. And little by little, they lowered their noise. But is there anything that we should do about asking people?
Well, that's a good point, because that wasn't during the quiet hours, so in theory,
That's right.
people can
Yeah,
do what they want, unless we have something in there
Yeah.
that's at unreasonable
yeah.
levels of noise.
Well,
That starts to become pretty
pretty sticky.
Subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I understand people wanting to play music, or they're having a party or they're working, I understand putting it on. This was extremely loud, really, really loud.
You can set decibel standards too. It's been done in other communities,
Yeah.
but.
But, who's gonna patrol those and who's gonna get out there and try to
That's
figure it
right.
out?
Little meter, yeah.
But,
No, chief, not for you.
but I just wanted to bring that up because I did get calls from residents who said, can anything be done about that noise? And I'm like, well, okay. We can try to talk to them and say maybe a little lower at that time, but I just wanted to bring that up. So any other comments on the noise ordinance?
Well, I like what you did, Sam. The quiet hours additional definition of what's considered too much noise, I think that's good. I like having the $100 fine, and I like giving them the 2 strikes you're out. I think those are all good. Kind of a question for you is, the way Sam just wrote this up, he took the old ordinance and made modifications to it. But as Diane pointed out, we'd have to actually go through a public meeting. But it gets kind of confusing because we replaced a bunch of code with this document when it came out 3 years ago. And now we're modifying.
An amendment to an amendment.
Yeah, and I just want to be sure that we get this known up front, so the next revision accommodates that stuff.
Yeah, and I think you just incorporate everything that exists previously with the newly adopted amended ordinance. And make it very clear, especially because you're doing this one under a public hearing, because you're adding a citation and a fine to it, that you're recodifying the existing language.
So we would replace this ordinance with a new one.
You could.
Is
Yeah,
that's something?
that's probably the cleanest way of doing it, since you got to
And
do a
just
public hearing.
note that in the new ordinance, that
Yep.
this replaces that? Okay, good.
Okay. All right.
You're going through the process anyhow, so.
Thank you. Okay, next is the amendment to the tree ordinance.
Okay, Ralph and I have been working on this, and during a 2 plan commission meetings, people brought forward tree permits, and they were taking down some of the larger trees on their properties to accommodate the new construction, and they prepared a tree diagram or tree plan, and came up with replacement trees. Instead of replacing oak for oak or oak hardwood of some sort for an oak tree, they were going to, one property owner was going to replace 5 or 6 oak trees with 5 or 6 redbud trees. So, and then the second one that we just reviewed at the last APC meeting was maybe 3 oaks and no oak replacements initially. And I raised the question to the property owner, and he was very supportive of the idea of replacing oak trees with oak trees. So Ralph and I got to talking about how while the tree ordinance accomplished a lot, was a lot done, and it seeming to be well incorporated into the permitting process. But we still, again, we want to put some meat behind it, or put some guardrails in there, so we're not faced with losing with what we all have grown to love, the canopy that's above us, that's provided by these huge hardwood trees. So I won't go through everything, but on the last page you'll see a listing of 4 different categories of trees. I may have misapplied some of them. We got hardwoods, ornamental fruit trees, and pine trees. And so what we propose is to amend the tree ordinance that we just revised to. Revision to a revision is to add language that basically says that if you take down a hardwood tree, you must select a tree from the hardwood category. And we'll publish that and update it as needed. Ralph, you have anything else to add?
No, I would say we've only gotten, with the new tree ordinance, just went into place a couple of months ago, the item that Sam mentioned, where someone actually had a tree plan presented. That's the first one we've had, and it was very well done. They had a real arborist do it. It was clear, it was concise, they took it seriously. But what it did was point out that there's a little bit missing. And that's to be expected as you run into these things. So I like the language that Sam's come up with, and I'm going to support this as we move on to the next step. I would say, Sam, we probably want to run this list by...
I took that from the list that's on the website.
Yeah, but...
I did not include
Just
the
looking for
bushes.
where they put it.
I did not include the bushes because
yeah,
That's,
but we can have Chris review this and
Yes.
tell us if everything's in the right order.
Okay.
Other than that, I think we would go the same route as we were discussing with the noise ordinance. It would have to be a public meeting because we're making a change to it. Another question, can we have a public meeting that would cover both the noise ordinance changes and the changes to the tree ordinance? Is that,
Yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't have to be individual. Yeah.
all right, so,
Okay, good.
You just, you call each one separately, so.
yes,
But at
give
the
us some
same,
time and then do
right,
the second one.
right at the same.
Good, thank you. Good. Thank you very much, Sam. This is, and very appreciated. This is good, with the trees. I know it's heartbreaking when you see any of the trees that are coming down.
so do I need to update that desirable tree list on the site, or is it good for right now to leave that?
That's fine.
Okay. All right, so we will work on setting a meeting then to, moving forward to make the changes to these 2 ordinances, right? Setting a meeting, because we basically know what we want, right? Okay, so for our public meeting, we should work, either we do
I
it,
guess the question I would have is the tree ordinance was created with the planning commission. The noise ordinance was something done at the town council. But that doesn't matter because the town council has to approve both of these in the end.
Right, but the amendment to the tree ordinance should still come from the advisory plan
So we should take it to them in the
Yeah.
next meeting,
and then bring it.
vote on it, and then bring it forward. Okay.
okay, thank you on those. The status of, one of the suggestions was the status of the Rallis permit, and that's for the home that was being renovated. So do we have any news on that? You know,
Um,
I don't even know if
The
it was,
building permit that was issued has expired. It's over a year, and there's still work equipment there. I don't know if the project is completed. Did we dismiss the,
Right, so that one, I know when this was started, this was like 2 years ago almost, well over a year ago. We sent out the immediate demand letters with them.
Yeah.
But I don't know, either the agreement was reached before it actually went to a nuisance complaint.
okay.
I don't believe one is pending if one was filed, which would have been.
And-
I just
and
feel
Mr.
like
Rallis
that,
paid all the outstanding fees to the town,
yeah,
and he paid for the permits.
yeah.
You know, he took.
I'm just, it's becoming a bit,
Yeah,
you know,
Well,
long in the
realistically,
tooth there.
once a month, somebody shows up and they work for 2 days.
Yeah.
and It's another month. I go by there
They've got
every
the-
day. There's most
Yeah,
of the time.
again, to me,
Yeah.
if I'm a neighbor, I don't want to be looking at that for another year, you know, it's like,
Okay, well then, I think my suggestion would be is that we ask Brian to contact Mr. Rallis and discuss what's going on with regards to, you know, the permit, because, to the construction work, because this permit did expire. It's more than a year. It did expire, so we have every right to go back, because that's what we say in our building permit. So we can get all the information over to you, Brian, and then,
You're gonna give me the address?
oh, everything, yeah, his contact information, because he doesn't.
So,
know that.
Is this one over by Pinewood?
It's on the
Up
corner,
there.
right by the park, by Kincaid Park. Kincaid, so it's on Birchwood and Oakdale Fort.
There was one over there, they called me and said they're going to.
Speak louder, Ryan, we can't, the camera can't hear.
That was a different one though.
Okay.
Someone called me and asked that if they're going to be finishing up, but that is a different one. This one's-
Okay,
So
No,
I
no,
can
this is
speak
something
to
else.
the fact that with the plan commission, there have been cases where, particularly during the pandemic, when people got permits, but then the contractors were not able to work.
yeah.
We did have them come back to the plan commission a year and a half later, and we gave them an updated permit. There was you know, we didn't make them pay more money, they just presented their case, and we gave them
Yeah.
a new permit.
But this is different, because there is work that keeps going on, but nothing, if it wasn't completed, so. Okay, but we'll get that information for you, Brian, okay? And I think my suggestion would be that Brian needs to, you know, take this and.
agree.
I agree.
Okay.
I do occasionally communicate with Bob as an attorney. Would you guys be comfortable with me kind of nudging him too? I mean, and letting him know that this is coming?
Well, you could
I
let
don't
him
want-
know, but Brian still needs to get you
Absolutely.
permit.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying that.
okay.
I didn't want
Oh,
to
absolutely.
communicate with him.
I think that would
Good,
be.
thank you. Yeah, great idea. Okay, thank you. Okay, next. Town emails and digital workspace for 2026.
So this is a discussion point here. It would have to go to a resolution for this. It's a long project, which started with getting a domain for the town so that we can have some unified emails. As any more email communication, digital file space is kind of important for towns, and it's for some of our size. It's hard to get all the business services, but the state of Indiana provides some cost savings for small municipalities like ours. They use Google Workspace. They do use Microsoft for larger municipalities or units, as they say, but we are actually too small for that. However, I did work with their vendors to get a price if we wanted to kind of take them on ourselves. And for the group of people that we previously identified, and we can go through that, I can send you guys some information about the number of people. We talked about 10 people getting email addresses, it might be 10 to 12. The cost between Google Workspace and Microsoft Suite, which wouldn't even include Teams, is dramatic. Google is 1/3 of the cost, it's 3 times more. And it would be more expensive because as the state would be administering our Microsoft servers and securities, the number of add-ons, which are higher tech than what I need to do to administer Google, I probably have to get some papers involved with that as well. So it's a little bit out of our budget. And again, the goal is just to have a unified set of email addresses and workspace so that someone who is, a town council member, a park board leader, APC leader, the clerk, has an email inbox that is uniformly administered. When people are elected and change hands, you have a clean handover. A new building commissioner, for instance, you have a file system that you just have to change the rights. You're not going to people's personal files and everything else. It's a little easier, it's a little more secure, it cuts down on some of the risk. So my proposal is to put together a resolution proposal to move forward with Google. This will be next year. We had put it in our budget for next year. We're looking at about $1,000, give or take, it depends how many numbers, and then it's renewable at the same cost. And we would go through with them to set it up, and we would determine probably town council, invite APC, whoever, what we need to move on to our shared file system once we're there. The biggest thing we'll be working with Joan to decide what our cutover is from physical to digital and how we want to handle that.
And you said that would be $1,000?
Yeah, right now it's like 862, but I think if we had a couple of email addresses with some, it might go up to 11,000.
Okay, we'll get it in the budget.
Yeah, it should be in there. I had it in the proposal for this next year. So I don't know when to bring it up tonight, see if there's any specific questions, and then move it into resolutions going forward.
Well, I would, what I'm thinking is that we just need to have a broader discussion of how this is going to work.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, we're not going to make a decision, but we can have a discussion amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
And ask a bunch of questions.
Yes, I figured there's a bunch.
Right, and then, so we understand them.
Oh, yeah.
And then we can have that vote
Sure.
at the following town
That
council.
sounds like a good idea.
Makes sense, yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, next I had added here the CCG program. Hashem Khalil, the president of the Global Engineering, contacted me today to ask if I knew that the Community Crossings Grant Program application date has changed from what it used to be back in January. It is now October 31st. So if we are interested in applying again, this would be for 2026, we have to apply to them by that date. We still have to get a PASER report ready and things like that we have done in the past, but that's still due December 1st, I'm sorry. But this actual application for the CCG, grant would have to go in by the end of October. Also incidentally, for coming year, our match would only have to be 20%. And then the rest would be coming from, other kind of funds because we are a small community. And we would be able to match only 20 instead of 25. So netting us a little bit, maybe extra, whatever we can afford to do. Going forward for the year of 2027, the application date is going to be July, except that I don't remember if it's July 1st or July 31st. Then they're going to do that for 2027 year community crossing grants, and there will only be one call for grants each year instead of two as they've had up to now.
So what you're saying is if we want to get any matching funds next year,
Yes.
we have to apply in October.
That's right, correct. Yeah.
So there's two big complications. One is getting organized around what streets we want to work on, and how much money we may have.
Yes.
The other thing is, there's a substantial fee that we have to pay to Global to do all this preparatory work, and that's not in this year's budget. And if we have to do that work this year, it's going to be, it's $30,000.
Right, well, no, it is, yeah.
So that's a little bit of a concern with me because
It's a big
budgeted
concern.
for that.
It's a big concern. To me, it feels like it's, oh my God, I didn't unload the grocery bags and I got new grocery bags, that's a silly, comparison here, but here, you're still working on something they just finished. We're just signing the, completion certificate, and to get started on the next one, seemed a lot. Because the awards for 27 are gonna have to be due, our application is due in 26.
That's
By July, it's really not all that far off, so,
Yeah, but I have to say, we've been very diligent the last 5 years in taking advantage of this program. We made great strides in the community
Yeah,
in fixing the roads.
yes.
There's always bad spots, but we're much better than we were 5 years ago. So I hate to pass that up. So could we have a meeting with Global
We
to
certainly can.
discuss?
Yes.
Again, we don't know yet
Yes.
how much money's
Yeah.
Joan thinks.
Shem said we could even call him now if you wanted to try, and I sent him this thing, but I think that maybe we should leave this for a separate meeting, because then that will allow us time to think and look, and then, get together questions.
Because maybe there's if we're going to only do a limited amount of work next year, the expense from Global will be less, and we can cover that engineering expense this year, and get matching funds for the other stuff next year. I don't want to miss the chance.
No, you're right, I mean, it's money that's available to us.
Mhm.
And when I was concerned about, how much money we may be having, but it's a motor vehicle tax, I know the chief, knows about some of that stuff too, and that's a portion not by how many people are sending, I mean, it's an amount of money that's shared overall in Indiana, right? From that, not depending on, how many homes are here, or, and how much tax is being paid. So that for us, I don't want to give away money that might be, or lose the money, okay?
I think the big hurdle is the $35,000 upfront cost that we have to put to the consulting group for each time. So if we're only going to do a small amount of roads because we don't have it in the budget, and your fixed cost that to play in the matching grant it's a barrier.
Yeah, and if it's not going to get significantly reduced, if we decide to just do half as much as we did this year, we'll skip next year and put the focus into
For the next.
Well, I'd say, and Rich can attest to this, for living on Michiana Drive is going to need paving. I mean, it's in bad shape.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I know.
I think every
And more heavy equipment.
Keeps going up every road. Well, and then that's something that if we're gonna be working on it, let's talk to them across the road to see about they're doing their half of the road, because we do half and we get them to see. Down the middle.
So I propose we just have a teleconference with Global
Right, that sounds fine. I will set
Talk
that
it through.
up. Okay,
and
okay,
we'll go from there.
okay, very good. So please, let me know your availabilities in the next, so that we can maybe discuss this coming week until next Tuesday, just so that we know what's going on. So give me any kind of available dates or unavailable dates, and we'll put it together, okay? All right, on that. Let's see, okay, attorney report, please, Brad, anything?
Sure. Just real quick, we already talked about 402 portal. We also still have 3621 Pontchartrain scheduled at that same time. That, my understanding and the communication I had with the property owner at the end of the last meeting, is really coming down to the citations that were issued, the fines, basically paying a fine. He did offer an amount, but quite frankly, it wasn't even the filing fee for the court cost. So if we can't come to an agreement, then we'll just put the fines to the court on the 29th and let the court determine the proper amount. But I'd still ideally like to work something out there with them.
Okay, sounds good.
And that's, again, that's scheduled the same time, same day as the
Okay,
the
good.
other property.
All right, okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, Miss Lane, then, under miscellaneous business, I didn't add it earlier, but, we were discussing, and I'm not even sure whether we should discuss this here or the plan commission, but the occupancy permits. Remember? So, that has come up since.
Okay, so what was discussed at the plan commission the last time we met was, it's clearly in our code that the town issues the occupancy permit. It's just that for some period of time, that did not occur. About 3 years ago, when we became aware of that, we created a new occupancy permit form for the town. And at the time, Deb Chubb, as a building commissioner, she did a pretty good job of making use of it.
Right.
Large renovations and new houses, basically, with the focus. But we have a new building commissioner, and he was not, I don't think you were aware of this,
Yeah, I mean, I just,
So we've had a couple of, we've bumped into a couple of things where people moved in and they got something from the county and there's issues with it. So what we're doing is we're updating the building permit application to clarify in that they have to get the final occupancy permit from the town. It's buried in our code, but that's not necessarily the right place for that reference. So we're going to stick it in there, and at the next plan commission meeting, we will vote on that language. I expect it to pass, and we don't need to bring it to the town council.
No.
And that will become the new standard building permit application.
right. Okay, one of the things I would recommend as well, because when Deb took over as the building commissioner, she set up a meeting, and I went with her to the LaPorte County Building Department, and there was a meeting, Mike Paulin was there at the time, and I'm not sure, is Mike still in that position? I thought he was, the last time I checked. Janet Paul is still there, so to have a conversation with them to make sure that they also understand that when maybe we'll have to put it differently on the form here maybe or something, but that they also understand that they make clear to anyone that they're inspecting that they have to come back to the town as well.
So there are emails to that effect. Deb did go through that process, and
Yeah,
I believe
she
you
did,
were
she
part
did.
of that. And we did communicate to those people that they need to send them to us for review.
Right, but I think we may need to remind them, because if something's changed,
Yeah.
or whatever, we need to.
It doesn't hurt to remind them of that, but ultimately it comes down to the property owner or the builder.
Yeah, we need to make those people.
And you're taking care of that with the permit, so it's.
Okay, all right, okay, and that's it. Unless anybody else has anything else to bring up, are there any public comments? Yes, please.
I have a couple of things, real quick. I want to follow up with 3812 Brookside Drive. There was a short-term rental that happened earlier this summer, and then there was a subsequent letter that was written to the town. Has there been a fine? Has there been anything gone?
3812
Yes.
Brookside.
Drive.
So they were not doing a short-term rental. It was a 5-week rental. And so that the short-term rental rules don't apply in that case. The letter that was written and it didn't come to the town, it had to do with people complaining that the place was in poor condition. But again, that's between them and the rental company and the owners of the property. They subsequently came to the town, started with the BZA to apply for begin the process to get a short-term rental. But there were too many issues at the meeting, and they didn't go through with the application. They may bring it back to the BZA, but right now I don't know that it's a jump.
Okay, I don't mean to beat this dead horse here, but you say a rental company, it was rented. It was a rental.
Well, yeah,
Yes, a 5-week rental, yes.
state law allows you to rent a home.
5 weeks,
That's more than 30 days.
Same kind of thing. It was poorly done, it was poorly cleaned. This was, a person of this community, stature of the community, was one who pursued it. The chief of the fire department's best friend was the one who rented it. They came home to visit with them. They moved out because they couldn't even stand the place.
But I
it's the same
understand,
thing.
but that could happen with any home. We're not responsible
I'm just
for.
saying, it was a rental, there was money exchanged hands, this wasn't this normal rental type thing, and as far as I see it, this was a short-term rental, it wasn't a long-term, whether it was a lease, anything like that. So I guess we're going down that street where, we can rent places for 2 weeks and 3 weeks.
Okay, Nick, excuse me, I'm not sure, maybe you said it or not. Was this for a permanent residence, or did somebody rent their permanent residence out for this, or was
No,
it's a weekend home that they're?
Out-of-town person who rented their residence to a.
Okay, all right.
Person.
It was a VRBO rental.
Okay, all right.
It was more than 30 days. So
Okay,
state law says that
Yeah.
that's not a short-term rental, and
Yeah.
the rules that we have for short-term rentals do not
Do not
apply.
apply.
in
We
this
can't,
case.
we can't do that.
So
right?
anyone can rent their building for more than 30 days, and they don't require anything from the town.
Yeah, we can't control it at all. And that's the great minds of the state of Indiana's legislature.
Is that the blue house on the right
I
there?
think so.
It's right on the grid, it's the second one in.
It's on the grid.
Yeah, on the ditch side, yeah, okay.
All right.
Okay,
Another one here is we were talking about, Sam was talking about noise, pollution, noises. You know, in that same ordinance that we were going back to several times, and also, you know, commercial working on Sundays. Okay? God, it blew up. It's been going crazy here on Sundays with commercial guys mowing grass, doing this, doing that. It's time to.
I thought that we don't allow anything that made noise.
I haven't seen it, but it's definitely against the rules.
And so there was a complaint that came in about, somebody brought that up about someone on, near Bittersweet, off of Bittersweet, and is it, maybe it was on your street or somewhere in that
There's
area?
down the street on Bittersweet, but there's,
Okay,
you know, on your street, Ken's got that guy over there doing stuff.
I walk over all the time. I walk over and make a complaint.
This is a code enforcement guy
Yeah.
time thing.
Mhm,
And
okay.
then also, one more thing that's, unfortunately, I hate to be the breaker of bad news, but I was doing a project on that the other day when the guys were out mowing Beats Park. Guys took 4 loops around with the mowers and bailed. Blew all the stuff into the center of the park and left. There would be nice, straight, stratified lines with the mowing. They just went around 4 times. I have pictures going all the leaves, the dried up leaves and everything into the center of the park.
So have you brought that to the attention of the park board?
The park board president was not in town last week to do it, and I would, but she left already, so.
So I would definitely let Gene know.
But this is something that we're, as taxpayers, paying dearly for this thing to be done exactly. There was no blowing going on. It was pitiful. I watched it myself.
Then,
And I actually, Ralph, you know, when we worked at the park sometimes, I was like, you know, really, I got a bad feeling about the park not getting done. And it's the same thing, it's every other week they're doing the pulling this deal.
That's not been the case. I've been looking.
Well, I would definitely
Yeah.
get ahold of Gene and let her know what's going on.
yes, you have to let her know because she's the administrator for the park board. So we don't administer her, she makes that, you know, so you have to talk to her about it and make sure she knows and send the photos and whatever. And then she can address it with the
Well,
group.
thanks for the information. That's-
Right, yeah, thanks for the info. All right. Do we have any any more public comments, please? Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Yes, hi, I'm Rob Tepperman. I'm working with the boosters on sort of trying to save as many trees in the town as we can. A few of us met a month or so ago on, you know, what project we might try and identify next. And the consensus was, and Jeannie was suggesting, the intersections of Brookside and El Portal, where Brookside hits El Portal, and
Yeah.
currently the town owns all of those parcels. 2 of them are along the creek, and the other one's on the other side of Brookside. We did a survey of the site. I had Maple City come out. There are 21 mature trees on those sites, 20 or 21. It's sort of hard to tell if you can't get in there because it's so overgrown with invasive species. But there's about 20 trees that are at risk, where the vines are well up into the canopy. Maple City has given us a quote. Initially, we were talking about just getting a quote to clear a path to the trees so that we can cut vines and kill the vines. And then when Maple City came out they said, listen, when we come out with our equipment, it'd just be easier for us to whack all this stuff down so that you can get to the trees rather than the path. I just go into the detail to fill the board in on what we're talking about. On the, I guess the next meeting of the park board will be on the 20.
Boosters,
29.
Boosters is the 22nd.
Boosters is the
Boosters,
22nd.
I'm sorry, boosters. So Jeannie wants this under the
Boosters.
umbrella of the boosters. What I'm asking is if, and I'm not sure where this would come in, so that's why I'm asking the board, of getting some kind of signage on El Portal saying, hey, we're gonna do a fundraiser, or people can make donations to save the trees in the town of Michiana. And we have a 501c3, whatever the charitable thing is. I don't think most people don't know about it. And so
The boosters can do the sign, they can handle the signage.
Yeah,
they can.
yeah, they're supposed to.
Yeah, okay.
Are you asking for approval to put it on the town?
Well, I didn't know if it was this committee that had to approve a signage or
Oh, gotcha.
boosters could approve.
Okay, the boosters can create, before manage, create a sign. It's good that you check with us. We'll double check with them, but
So, yeah.
for the signage, that's a good point,
If they want
yeah.
to do it, then you would have to approve putting the sign
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
But we'll be able to handle it.
Got it. And the quote for clearing those 3 sites was $2,250. I'd be willing to put in a substantial portion of that, but would like to get some kind of fundraising from the town to do that. And I think we can clear that area up. It's a little bit more visible. And I think if people in the town start seeing that there's things happening in an impact area like that, then we should make it known that, hey, if you want to give $50 or $100 towards the effort, then we can expand it to other sites in the town.
So Rob, did you guys talk about time frames? Did they recommend a time to do
So
something?
we sort of left that open, and his quote was, so I said, probably, we'd like to get it done sometime after the leaves fall this year. It might roll into next spring, it may roll into the next year, it really depends on
I guess it's
what the boosters decide.
Everybody's maybe did it.
But there's nothing dictated by seasonal requirements.
No, and what I asked him to quote was, quote it in a way that when your machinery is idle, so that we can get the cheapest price possible. And so it's not specific, and he's worked pretty well with us, and so if I said, will you hold the price for a year, I'm sure he would. So the other price he gave us was $1,250 to go with a high-reach machine to pull the vines out of the trees. I think if we clear a path and can get to the trees, we'll just do what we did on Powhatan, where we cut them and
So the boost, yeah, so this is a boosters project, so the boosters will be.
yeah.
Handling that.
Sorry.
And it's very exciting, I'll let the boosters do that. so.
Okay, good, good. Thanks.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
thanks, yeah. And generally, I don't think the town has any problems with signage asking for that kind of help.
Right,
Because it's all for the.
We should be good.
Yeah, it's all good for that, yes. So that's good, thank you, thanks a lot, Rob. Okay, and you had a question, please.
Yes, I did. A comment. I just.
Please identify yourself to the meeting. Okay.
Ellen, Laura, it's, do I have to be quoted?
They do, well, it's part of the meeting, it's a public meeting.
Back to the.
Uh-huh.
What's your last name?
I live at 5 Pontiac. Just referring to Sam's initiative on the noise ordinance. I share the same neighbor who has caused, is repeating. This goes on, this has been going on for years, and it's pretty intense, and it's, you can, it's also, he'll invite, this person will invite employees over, and the music will be so loud that they can't even hear that I'm banging on the door when they're just in there partying. So it's a constant problem, and it's, I don't get to be here very often, so it's like lots of noise on the weekends with a lot of people.
Well, we appreciate your comment, and that just supports what we talked about, over here, so that's, thanks for coming in and saying that.
38 something.
3811, I think it's 3811.
3811 Pontiac.
Yeah, except the address is listed as Michiana Drive.
3811 Michiana. Oh.
Yeah, but the front door is on the other street, so. Okay. All right, any more, how about council comments? Nothing? Okay, then, I will entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
What time is it?
All right, 8:49. All right, so